So force and motion vocabulary list 1. First word is force. A force is a push or pull that causes an object to move, stop, or change direction. In other words, accelerate. When two forces are the same strength but act in opposite directions, they are called balanced forces. Balanced forces can cancel each other out. Anytime there is a balanced force, the object does not move or maintains constant motion.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Keywords include constant speed, constant direction, zero net force, constant acceleration. Unbalanced forces change the motion of an object. This happens in two ways. If an object is at rest and an unbalanced force pushes or pulls the object, it will move. Unbalanced forces can also change the speed or direction of an object that is already in motion. Speed is a measurement of how fast an object moves relative to a reference point. It does not have a direction and is considered a magnitude or scalar quantity. Speed can be figured by the formula speed equals distance divided by time. Acceleration is the measurement of change in an object's velocity. Acceleration equals the change in velocity divided by the change in time, or delta V divided by delta T.
And Woods has time and floats it for Aguilar, who makes the catch on the run. Nelson Aguilar puts a move on, and yes, that's an Eagles touchdown.
Yes, juking is acceleration. Velocity designates an object's speed plus the direction of its motion. Keywords include direction, displacement, and acceleration. So velocity is speed in a particular direction. The combination of all forces acting on an object simultaneously is called the net force, also known as the resultant force. For example, the net force acting on a rope being pulled from the right by a force of 5 newtons and from the left by a force of 3 newtons will be 2 newtons pulling from the right.
We'll be back with more fair and balanced coverage.
In science, motion is a change in position compared to a place or an object that is not moving. The place or object that is not moving is called the frame of reference. Some keywords include moving, changing position, and reference point. Stationary objects keep doing what they're doing.
Don't move. It won't hurt you.
Which is to remain at rest, unless the objects have an unbalanced force, like Slimer, acting on them. The keywords include still, at rest, motionless, balanced forces. Gravity or gravitational force is the force of attraction between matter. A dropped object falls to the ground because it is pulled down by the gravitational force exerted by Earth. Gravity is the force that holds Earth, the Sun, and stars together and keeps the planets in their orbits. Some keywords include attraction, pull, orbit, mass. Gravity is a non-contact force. Magnetism. A magnet is a rock or a piece of metal that can pull certain types of metal toward itself. The force of magnets, called magnetism, is a basic force of nature, like electricity and gravity. Magnetism works over a distance. This means that a magnet does not have to be touching an object to pull it. Air resistance.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
Air resistance is the frictional force air exerts against a moving object. As an object moves, air resistance slows it down. The faster the object's motion, the greater the air resistance exerted against it. Air resistance affects all moving objects, from airplanes, rockets, and trains to cars, bicycles, and even living things. Friction is a force that resists motion between two surfaces that are in contact with each other. When you walk, the frictional force between the ground and the soles of your shoes resists your forward motion. Friction works in the opposite to the direction of an object's motion.
Hey, I better cut this out. I may get to like it.
If you push a chair, you apply a force to move it forward. The floor exerts a frictional force in the opposite direction towards you to resist the forward motion of the chair. Some keywords include rubbing, scraping, sliding, and heat. Finally, tension and compression. Tension is a force that stretches something, while compression is a force that squeezes something together. Materials are only useful if they can withstand forces.
You're foldable. You're gullible. Oh, right. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. And... Oh, you're ductile. You're elastic.
Some keywords include for tension, stretch, pull, and spring, and for compression, squeeze, compress, and squish.
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of...